It's live. Ready?
Ready?
Hello, everybody. I'm Robert Breaker. Let's make sure we get this right. Yes, that way the sound comes in. I'm out cutting down trees and doing stuff. Pan around there, just look at some of the forest. and my chainsaw is dull. So I thought I'd do a quick video on Knives Are Cool and Axes 2 on how I sharpen my chainsaw. And this is how I do it. I usually count to 7, sometimes I do 8. But this is a tool that you get, see if you can zoom in on this, and it's basically a little file. So you can use the file by itself. Let's do that method first. And you can take the little file here and run it in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 usually is enough, but I'll do 8 or 9 sometimes. And that's sharpened. Now you got to go each one, and you got to go each way. This I usually use because it's a little bit easier. And what you do is you drop it in here like this and clasp these in. Then, maybe you have to come on this side to be able to see. See how it goes in here? Put it up on top here and look in there. See how that is in there like this? So when I'm ready, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes I do 8 or 9. And that actually, man, that's sharp. Compared to one that's not, that's really sharp. So I go and skip one because every other one is the opposite. So you gotta remember now where I stop. So I try to start here out at the ends. And remember, okay? Now I'm at this one. That one's really dull. Now I push this in, and this will move, and I carefully move it with my fingers. Don't want to cut myself. I've already shed enough blood today, as you can see, where I'm cutting myself, so I don't want to do that anymore. And then, usually 7's enough, but sometimes I'll do a couple extra. Did I just hear a turkey? I think I heard a turkey out there. Let's see. Okay, so if you can get over on the top, looking straight down, you can see how between this little lip, the piece comes through. You see how it's coming through? Oh, and see that pops off sometimes. So you got to be careful. Seems like something always happens. All right, let's see. Got a lot of little metal flakes coming off here. Dead 10 on that one. Okay, now again, this is my brake. Take my brake off. Pull it forward slowly. Don't want to cut myself. Usually I should probably be wearing gloves. Then we start on the next one. They're feeling really, really sharp. So you want this little tip to be sharp, but you also want inside there to be sharp. And it cuts in all those places. And you want to be going in at an angle. See how I'm not this way and I'm not too far. You'll feel it. And it's getting inside there, inside that lip. So back it up some. I like to put my finger here or sometimes my thumb. And you want to be careful because when you get it sharp, this thing wants to cut you. Now, see how I'm doing this? I could slip and hit and cut my knuckle. So if I go on top here, whatever you do, just be careful not to go all the way in and cut yourself on these. Probably should be having on some gloves, but you know how it is. Sometimes you can't find your gloves. Now, move it out slowly, making sure I don't cut myself. Now, the only problem is I don't know where I ended, so I go around till I think I've done them all, and I don't know if I've done them all yet. A lot of your chainsaw blades have one of these links that's a different color. So they let you know if you've already done that or not. And I forgot to look. You can feel when they're sharp because that little edge right there and right there becomes real sharp. And I'm not sure if I've done the whole thing or not. And I don't know where the one is. If you don't have one that's a different color, sometimes you'll have one that's marked somewhere. Does this have a look, kind of look like a different, yeah. See how that's a different color? So next time when I do the next one, I'll remember that. So that's a different color to show you. So this is how you sharpen a chainsaw. And we're on this edge here. Now we got to switch to the other side. Look at all the little metal flakes I got everywhere, so it's definitely working. Usually 7 is enough, sometimes I do 10. Where's my mark? Okay, so my mark is here. I'm gonna hold it, and I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna switch to the other side here in just a second. Feels like I've done those. So now I come over and I do the other side. So now the other side, same way. Just sometimes it just seems harder to do the other side, especially if you're right-handed. So sometimes I'll switch to the left hand. It just doesn't seem like it works as well as the other one. So sometimes being right-handed or left-handed helps on this. And sometimes it's good. Not getting that one in the way I want it to. There we go. So it's working. Now, time to take the brake off, move it some more. And it doesn't take a long time. You can go pretty fast. If you do 7 on each one like I do, or sometimes you notice I'm doing 10. So the first time I did this, I did 7 and it was enough. I guess as it gets older and you use it more, you might need to do more. It's hard on this side, especially when your hand's starting to fall asleep from doing this. But all right, well, that's pretty much it, and you will definitely tell quite a difference when it's sharpened. Now, the reason you sharpen it is because otherwise it could be very dangerous. A dull saw is not fun, and you should be sharp enough that it is actually digging itself in. If you're sitting there and you're having to push the thing down to cut, then you have a dull blade. And when you sharpen it, you should tell quite a difference. You'll see bigger chunks coming out. You'll feel it. It'll almost pull you into it. And that's what these are for as well. If you're cutting a really big piece, you have these 4. Come around on this side. See these 4 here? If you're cutting a real big piece, you push the chainsaw in to where those sink in. And that's where you use for leverage. And you can push up or down and make it cut. But a sharp saw is a smart saw. And my favorite saw is a Husqvarna 455 Rancher. Some people buy the 450. I think there's a 460, but I've always liked the 455. I don't know why. It's just the right size for me, and that's the one I use. So seems like I buy one of these every couple of years because I'm always using them, and I find friends that don't have them. Well, I'll give one away for him to use one, and I'll get me another one. But nothing like a Husqvarna. We call it a Husky 455. So I thought of making my YouTube channel Husky something, but I thought, no, I think somebody already took that or something. So forget it. But anyway, that's how you sharpen it. And I hope you all have fun sharpening your chainsaw. And this is just a little kit that you can buy. And again, if you don't like it, you can always pop it out of this thing and do it by hand this way. And that's fine too. So thanks for watching, and hope you keep your saw clean, and I hope you keep your saw sharp. See you next time. Knives are cool, and chainsaws too.